Sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. Liftoff.
What is up, guys? Hunter Klein here, bringing you this week's episode of Interplanetary Monkeys. You know the deal. Episode number 76. We push forward, we go on. It's actually a very exciting time. Okay, outside of the fact of my personal life that I'll probably talk about briefly today, grinding at work, not knowing many people in the area, spending a lot of my time trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to do with my time. The outside world has sparked a little bit. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of interesting things going on that I'm actually quite excited about, or to get into today, to talk about today. First off, I've been going through a little phase. Okay, so we've talked about it in the past, and if you've hung around long enough, you know that I tend to get obsessed over weird niche things for very short periods of time for whatever reason. And this week, it is day trading and the stock market. Now, I've been very transparent about my slowly growing interest in what was initially cryptocurrencies. And how couldn't you? How couldn't you? All these Joe Schmoes that don't really know anything about stocks or the stock market or how anything works are making thousands and thousands of dollars because they threw a couple $100 into some random cryptocurrency. Okay, so that started my interest. I got Coinbase. It's a cryptocurrency trading app. I told you guys I was somewhat interested in diving in. This week I did. Okay, now I want to preface this by saying everything following this initial disclaimer is not fact. I would not suggest following my investing opinions because I'm not an expert. I don't feel comfortable giving advice on it. I have not made a large amount of money to give myself a reputable backing. Okay. So this isn't universal. I'm not saying follow my decisions. I'm just spicing things up. Okay. So I have invested in Stellar Lumens, a very, I'd say niche, not very well known compared to the likes of Dogecoin or Bitcoin, but a cryptocurrency nonetheless that shows huge promise in the future because it's been legitimized by some big companies in the world, and it has been announced that a specific country in Africa is actually going to use it as their sole currency for everything, I guess. Regardless, it's exciting as hell to be involved in these things. Okay? Obviously, crypto is volatile. It means the prices fluctuate very, very extremely and without much warning. All right, so it is a little bit more of a gamble than your traditional stock, your regular non-crypto stock involvement. But that's what makes it exciting. We have a little bit of disposable income. We invest a comfortable amount with relatively little risk as far as loss of money and very high potential. For example, I bought at 41 cents, and some of the projections for between 2022 and 2023 are about $14. So what is that? Maybe like a 300% increase? I'm not really sure. I'm not going to do the math now, but it's big and it's exciting. So we're going to hang on to it diamond hands until mid next year and see what happens. I've also been spending a shit ton of time learning about how day traders do their job. Not because I'm specifically interested in becoming a day trader, but I'm interested in seeing how such a up and down, constantly changing market like that of stocks, the stock market as a whole, can be manipulated by an average human to get steady income. These graphs are mystical, right? We look at these graphs, we pull up one of these charts and all these candles and ups and downs and waves and bounces and resistances, and we're like, what the hell is going on? How do you read this? What's going on? How do people use this? And what started this is I had a buddy reach out to me, or I was talking to last night about Bitcoin, and he was saying, look at this pattern that Bitcoin is showing. It's all orchestrated. I was like, well, what do you mean it's orchestrated? And he says, well, if you look at this Bitcoin, the waves, I guess, the trends, if you pull up a chart of the price of Bitcoin over the last 6 months or so, it follows a very specific path that is actually a formula that is used by billionaires that have a lot of holding power, right? What do they call it? They have strong positions in the market, and they manipulate the prices of a stock in a way to get your average human, get your retail traders to jump in, spend their money so they can kind of take as much as they can. They're pretty much fucking over the general public because they have the power. They have enough of the stocks that they can control trends, is essentially the idea. And he sent me this YouTube video, and it was nuts. I think anybody with half a brain would watch this and actually enjoy it because it's crazy. First off, it's a little bit disgusting, but it's a look behind the curtain, and there is a lot of legitimate information in that story that he tells in that. So this was the spark, and now we're just spiraling out of control to the point where this morning I spent about 3 hours watching stock market videos. Right? I had the question, okay, the stock markets go up and down all the time. Obviously, businesses do well, stocks go up. Businesses do bad, stocks go down. But how do people, day to day, make legitimate money off the stock market? Right? A day isn't enough for a trend to make you hundreds of dollars, right? How do people go in at the smallest level and make money off this? So I learned about trends, resistances, what certain bounces, what certain movement patterns in stocks mean for the big picture, I guess. What is this? Who has control? Is it buyers? Is it sellers? What are these trends? How do I know when to buy if something's going up? How do I know when to get out? What am I looking for? What trends are we? So on and so forth. And it was interesting. And to be honest with you guys, it's something I might dabble in. I definitely have the mental capacity to process it or learn it. I'm passionate about learning things like these. And it's really the most exciting thing about diving into subjects like these is that you can put a monetary value on the information you're learning, right? Theoretically, every hour I spend learning about stocks may have a monetary value on the back end if I actually decide to dabble in this sport, this activity. Now, not to say that I will, not to say that I will follow through, but right now it seems like something I could reasonably handle. And again, it's something you could start off out as fun, right? Put $20 in the stock market. Play the small game. Test out your strategies. Practice a little bit. See if it works. All right? If over 2 months you're consistently turning that $20 into 40, into 80, then maybe we could scale up. So this is how I would get into it if I were to actually commit or try it out. But it's consumed my life this weekend, and it's been exciting. It's been really exciting. It's been a long time since I've actually wanted to dive into something like this. Since I've had that itch to learn or get involved with something like this. So we've got a small amount of money that we're kind of playing around with stocks, looking at trends, seeing when we should get in, finding area of value. That's a term I learned. Okay, an area of value. If you go to buy apples at the grocery store, you're not going to buy them at the highest price. You're going to buy them at a dip. How do we calculate dips? How do we know when a dip is a dip and not just a slight little downward trend? Guys, I'm on it. We're learning information, and it's fun. It's so fun, regardless if we actually use it for any monetary gain or not. Now, I can't help but think about how attractive the life of a day trader is, guys. I'm a homebody. That's very obvious. I live in an area where I don't really know much of what's going on. I don't know many people. So a lot of my entertainment is more independent. There would be nothing better. There'd be nothing better for this specific period of my life to get a little day trading in. Working from home, the ability to get a dog that you could hang out with all day, the ability to eat, cook whenever you want between trades. It is an attractive lifestyle, friends. Now, obviously, I'm overlooking the immense amount of information and practice you need to get good at something like this. But this is just another aspect of why this is such an attractive idea for me right now. The lifestyle of the work seems great. The work seems fun. It's a little risky, obviously. I'm also overlooking that. It is risky. There are losses. And it is essentially educated gambling. But who knows, guys? Who knows what the future holds? I have no idea what's going on in my life right now. We're so uncertain. We're so unsure. Who knows? Who freaking knows? And look behind me if you guys are watching on video. If you guys are listening on audio, I have added new aspects to my setup. Okay, if we think back 5-6 months, one of the big things, one of the big goals of my move was to establish a more professional looking setup for the podcast and potentially a stream in the future, right? Because I could literally just, this podcast, everything that this is being recorded on, I could literally just click another button here and instantly go live and start streaming to a live streaming platform. Nonetheless, my backdrop doesn't look like I'm in a grandma's house anymore. Okay, it looks professional. It looks homey. I'm going to be adding some paintings, some more vegetation, some more greenery, if you will. Okay, and it feels good. The place is starting to come together. I'm able to take myself a little more seriously. And I hope you guys enjoy it from a visual perspective. Okay. I have discovered that the best type of light for lighting on camera, whether you're doing something at home, whether you're taking a picture of a friend, is a daylight balanced light bulb. And I've ordered them because right now I have this like very warm white light bulb and I just don't think it does it. I just don't think it does it at all. So yeah, things are exciting. We got the setup is coming together. We're dabbling in the world of day trading, which I could 100% do. It's just about whether or not I would actually commit and dive into this and continue to learn and develop my knowledge on it. And yeah, again, another exciting time, another exciting event right now in the world is tonight. Logan Paul fights Floyd Mayweather. Now, the recording of this podcast is going to be pre-fight. So right now, at this moment in time, I have no idea what the outcome will be. Okay, it's still unknown. But I can promise you that if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, the week after the fight, you enjoyed the hell out of the event. I'm going to enjoy the hell out of the event. It's entertaining. God damn, will it be entertaining, guys? That is literally undeniable. One of the greatest boxers in the history of the world fighting some jacked YouTube bro. Is absolutely hilarious, comical, and goddamn is it going to get people out of their seats, I promise you. I hope something interesting happens. I hope someone gets bopped up a little bit and gets what they deserve. Now, who deserves what? I don't know. But it just sounded cool and it makes things a little more intense. Okay? Sweet. A huge story this week, guys, that is right down our lane is the threat on Elon Musk. Okay? Now, yes, Elon Musk was threatened because there is a lot of controversy right now about what Elon is doing or what his involvement is in with cryptocurrency. Okay, if you guys follow Elon Musk, if you're familiar with Elon Musk at all, you know that he has been tweeting. He is the spokesperson for cryptocurrency. He tweets out pictures of Dogecoin, a complete meme stock to rise the price. He talks about Bitcoin and says, hey, you can now buy Tesla cars with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Like, it's legit. Elon Musk has been a primary mover in the legitimization of cryptocurrencies. But it turns out that it's not so happy for all our cryptocurrency people. Okay. So I'm not too in on the know of the cryptocurrency and how Bitcoin is falling and why it is. But a lot of people believe that Elon Musk is somewhat responsible for this drop in cryptocurrency. He was piping it up, making people excited about it, but as soon as it started to drop, he got out and completely ditched the train. All right? And as a result, for the complex reasons behind what happened in this situation, people lost a lot of money. People lost their livelihood. People's capital was liquidated. Which should be assumed somewhat that there's a chance of this because cryptocurrency is volatile. But a lot of people are believing that Elon Musk is at fault for this. And he's not taking it seriously enough. And he's not taking responsibility of the lives that he has ruined. Now, how big of a deal is this? Well, it's a big deal. And for some people, specifically a group by the name of Anonymous, it is a big enough deal to take action on. Now, Anonymous has come out of the dark for the first time in around 5 years. They came out during the Minneapolis shooting to hold some police responsible. But they've come out of the dark for the first time in somewhat 5 years to threaten Elon Musk and tell him that they are coming for him. Now, should Elon Musk be scared? Yes. Why? Anonymous is a group of hackers that are extremely skilled, extremely intelligent in what they do, and they play somewhat of a vigilante role in the world. They wear masks, they make videos, they talk in ominous voices so you can't identify their person. And they literally are all over the world, find you, hack you, destroy your life some way or another. Maybe saying destroy your life isn't the best move. They seek vengeance in whatever way that might be. Okay? They are strictly hackers. They exist in the cyberspace. Now, okay, maybe it's not that big of a deal. But considering our world is almost entirely cyber, in the cybernet, in the cyberspace, in the cloud, they have a lot of power and a lot of potential to make impact on whatever they wish. Okay? So, let's pull up the video because there's no shot we're not watching this on our on the podcast here. Let's get it.
Greetings, citizens of the world. This is a message from Anonymous, for Elon Musk. For the past several years you have enjoyed one of the most favorable reputations of anyone in the billionaire class, because you have tapped into the desire that many of us have to live in a world with electric cars and space exploration, but recently your carefully created public image is being exposed, and people are beginning to see you as nothing more than another narcissistic rich dude who is desperate for attention. It appears that your quest to save the world is more rooted in a superiority and savior complex than it is in actual concern for humanity. This has been obvious to your employees for a long time, who have faced intolerable conditions under your command for years. It is also obvious to the young children working in your overseas lithium mines, which are destroying the local environment as well. You have been open about your willingness to stage coups in order to install dictators in places where your toxic products are being mined. You have even prematurely crowned yourself Emperor of Mars, a place where you will be sending people to die. Your fanboys overlook these issues because they are focused on the potential good that your projects can bring to the world.
That's me. I'm a potential fanboy, and I have overlooked all of this because, again, this is literally what I've talked about on the podcast. I always say this. I don't care what he does with this, that, and that. His projects, his intentions are awesome. But, guys, I'm telling you this right now. These dudes at Anonymous have me questioning everything. Onward.
But you are not the only show in town, and your competition is growing more intense with each passing day. There are plenty of other companies working on space exploration and electric vehicles. You are
True.
just the only CEO who has gained a cult following through shitposting and trolling the world on social media.
True.
In fact, many people are now learning that the vast majority of Tesla's income doesn't actually come from selling cars, it comes from government subsidies, selling carbon tax credits for your innovation with clean energy. This technically isn't your innovation though, because you aren't actually the founder of Tesla. You simply purchased a company from two people much more intelligent than you are,
I didn't know
Martin
this,
Eberhard
actually.
and Mark Tarpenning. Tesla has also made more money holding Bitcoin for a few months than they did in years of selling cars. It is also more than likely that this Bitcoin was purchased with money from these government subsidies. It is now widely believed that you have been forced to denounce your company's involvement with Bitcoin in order to keep that green government money flowing into Tesla's coffers. The energy use argument about proof-of-work mining is a very nuanced conversation that requires a fairly complex understanding of how power grids work, and how excess energy is wasted by power companies, and sought out by crypto miners. This is a conversation that you have been having for over a year and were intimately aware of, but as soon as your main source of income was threatened you pretended to be clueless in an attempt to play both sides of the fence. Then, your move to create a Bitcoin miner council was rightly seen as an attempt to centralize the industry and take it under your control. Reading from the comments on your Twitter posts, it seems that the games you have played with the crypto markets have destroyed lives. Millions of retail investors were really counting on their crypto gains to improve their lives. This is something that you will never understand because you were born into the stolen wealth of a South African apartheid emerald mine and have no clue what struggle is like for most of the working people in the world.
Oh my God.
Of course, they took the risk upon themselves when they invested, and everyone knows to be prepared for volatility in crypto, but your tweets this week show a clear disregard for the average working person. As hard-working people have their dreams liquidated over your public temper tantrums, you continue to mock them with memes from one of your million-dollar mansions. You may think you are the smartest person in the room, but now you have met your match. We are Anonymous. We are Legion. Expect us.
Holy hell. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The end of that gives me goosebumps. I don't know whose side I'm on. I don't know how I feel about this situation. This guy obviously seems to know what he's talking about. He's very articulate, and yeah, it turns out Elon Musk didn't invent Tesla, didn't start this, even though it really sounds like that when he talks about the company and when Tesla is just brought up as a topic. And like him uncovering facts like this and kind of pulling the curtains back really makes me start to doubt things. Really makes me start to doubt my fanboydom. And it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I've watched that video probably 6 times this morning, and every single time at the end when they say we are Anonymous, we are Legion, we are, or something like expect us, I get goosebumps. There is something about these types of groups that, like, the passion and the intensity and the, I don't know, the intimidation is just powerful. Like, I don't know how you can be Elon Musk. I'm sure Elon Musk has seen this. If he hasn't yet, he will. And I'm sure that he will feel somewhat afraid by this. Right? I can't imagine a world in which he looks at this and just laughs it off. Especially because this is a legitimate group with people all over the world that have a lot of power in the technological space. But maybe he has enough money and enough cybersecurity, and he has the tech, and he knows the right people where he doesn't have to worry about shit. And there's no risk of him getting hacked or whatever. And yeah, I don't know. But the threat is intense. It seems legit. Generally, Anonymous does carry through with their actions like this. They're not really a joke. They are very serious about what they do. And their messages are powerful. Like I said, they're vigilantes, and generally their intentions are pure, right? It's very rare that they get criticized for the things they do. Okay, for example, they they pretty much hunt down ISIS members on the internet and destroy everything they have on the internet. Emails, websites, everything. And they made a video about that. They attacked the police in Minneapolis when I believe Floyd, after the George Floyd, yeah, they attacked the police and said, we're going to hold you responsible, we're going to find you, stuff like that. So they are generally for the people, and very rarely, I mean, this is so far from a terrorist organization. So that's the most striking part about this, right? I obviously wouldn't consider myself a member of Anonymous, but I would say I generally support their goals and missions, which makes it very strange here, especially because they specifically called me out. Like, let's be honest, they couldn't have more directly called me out specifically in this, right? Elon Musk fanboys that look past all of his kind of crappy qualities or maybe what's going on because they just love what he's doing for the world. All right. And I've said that specifically, damn near word for word. I don't even think about anything other than what his companies are designed to do for the world. But he's not the only one. And that's the thing. I think I put too much weight on Elon, potentially. Maybe in the past I've put too much praise on Elon because I fail to realize that there are other companies doing this stuff. Right? Jeff Bezos has a space exploration company. I think it's called Blue Planet or Planet X or something like that. There are other people that are excited about getting humans to space, that are excited about making humans interplanetary in solar energy, or not solar energy, clean energy. And I should probably spend some more time looking into that. And I've fallen victim. I guess I'm already kind of switching sides here. But nonetheless, regardless if it's a positive or a negative, I have fallen victim to the cultish type of following that Elon does grasp, does does retrieve from the internet because of the way he presents himself. Very interesting. I do think there is legitimate talk when we bring up things like maybe Elon Musk. I can't believe I'm switching sides so much here, but I've spent a lot of time this morning looking into this stuff. Maybe Elon Musk doesn't have the intentions I've thought for the last couple of years. Okay? If Elon Musk didn't care an insane amount about his public image, why is he going on Joe Rogan so much? Why is he going on Saturday Night Live? Why is he tweeting so much and trying to be this internet figure? Why is he trying to have a solid stance or spending so much of his time and effort to have a presence, to be a guru, to be a guy people look up to be a guy people worship? Now maybe he's just having fun with it, right? And I would like to think that. I would like to think that Elon is just taking advantage of his platform and having as much fun as he can with it. But you just never know. You just never know. And I really don't know which side of the fence I'm on. Last week, if you talked to me, I would say Team Elon. Right now, I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. I don't know what to believe now. I don't know what to believe. This is pretty fishy. This is pretty sketchy right here, all this stuff that's going on. And who knows, guys? Who knows? Again, that group's called Anonymous, and it is message to Elon Musk if you guys want to look it up. Obviously, Anonymous doesn't have a YouTube channel because that would be tracked. I'm fairly positive. So I'm pretty sure they share it discreetly on the dark web probably and somehow leak it to the internet. Yeah, the most striking part about these is there's something so powerful about these groups, this anonymous group, this message. There's something so powerful about rising together in these crazy, really like straightforward and aggressive mottos and catchphrases, right? I don't understand how you don't watch a video like this and just feel compelled to want to be a part of a group like this. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that this video just made me remember how powerful it is to be a part of something larger than yourself. We have this innate drive to be a part of something bigger. to be involved in something larger, to be a hero, to stand up for what's right. And yeah, I think that's part of the reason that so many people, especially in the comment section, myself, probably you, are getting goosebumps or getting weird feelings when we watch videos like this, because it's like, holy shit, this is absolutely next level. It's a crazy time, guys. It's a crazy time. Awesome video, very interesting. For me, guys, things are going fairly well. All right, we're working in commercialized fitness like we mentioned last week. I just recently had my first week of work, and it went all right. It was rough. Take number one, coaching throughout the day is the hardest work I've ever done in my life. I've worked on farms. I've sprayed pig pens with a power washer and cleaned shit off walls. I've worked in an office. I've worked in a PT clinic. I've done cancer research. I've done space research. The most difficult thing I've done to date is this coaching gig. It's exhausting in a different type of way. Not only are you standing all day, but you're showing workouts, right? So you're constantly moving, lifting light weights throughout the day, and you're yelling. The attention, the attentive needs of the job, right? Music's blaring. There's multiple people in the room. You're yelling examples. You're yelling how much time's left on the clock, what we're going to next, here, there, explaining things, helping people. To date, this first week was the most exhausted I've ever been during a job, and it beat me up. Especially in these times of exhaustion, when you haven't eaten a lot of food, when you're beat down, and you're agitated, you're tired, and your brain starts to think really negatively. I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but when you're really down in the dumps, beat up, hungry, and brain is just going through negative thoughts, you're kind of beating yourself up. What am I doing here? What is this? Why didn't I stay in school? I should have went to PT school. Things like this were really getting to me. And it wasn't necessarily because they were true or legitimate, but more or less because I was just getting beat up. Okay. Obviously, I'm trying to make this a full-time gig, but these types of jobs, especially what I'm doing at D1, is not designed to be full-time because it just takes too much out of you. And not a lot of people at the place. I mean, I think maybe one or two people goes full-time and they're in manager roles. So we're exploring options. It's why this day trading thing has become such a serious idea in my head. Because I could use it right now in my life. It would be hugely beneficial. But we're exploring other more lucrative jobs. Teaching online part-time throughout the day. Helping out on education forums for other teachers. There's things coming out. Who knows, guys? Ultimately, we're in our early 20s. Regardless of the fact that I have a master's, a CSCS, a USAW, it's the grinding part of life. And that's just how it is. We push forward. We kind of go through the trenches right now to make ends meet. And hopefully we get little more freedom as the years progress onwards. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. Regardless, it's an exciting time in life, guys. We push forward. We go onward. Things are a little rough right now, for sure. On the social aspect, on the daily life working aspect. We're not exactly where we want to be, but that's okay. We got many, many years to figure it out. We got the podcast. We have community. We have some things to be excited for. I'll probably start streaming in the next year or so. We'll probably make some money off a cryptocurrency and get hype about it and buy a new computer or something. Like, who knows, guys? Who knows? All right. Is there anything else I want to talk about? Once again, I didn't get on the IP Monkey's phone, but that's okay. One day, if there are still calls on that number, we will go back and visit him one of these weeks, and we'll have a good time talking about it. If you guys want to call into the IP Monkeys hotline, it is 602-892-4371. That is 602-892-4371. Call in, leave a message. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to talk about. Let me know who you are, where you're from. And yeah, let's make it a little more collaborative, I always want to get you guys involved, whether it be in the DMs, questions in the DMs, topics in the DMs, or calling into the hotline. All right. All right. I hope everyone's doing well. If you're in your early 20s, I hope you're in a good spot. If you're in a rough spot like me, battle through. It'll turn around at some point. We'll catch a lucky break. Something will happen. Something will happen. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. All right. All right. That's it for this week's episode of Interplanetary Monkeys. This is Hunter Klein, and y'all hear from me next week. Peace, peace.